What if I told you that in just 4 minutes, you could change your entire reality? Not next month. Not next year. In 4 simple minutes. And no, this isn't clickbait. This is based on the teachings of one of the most mysterious minds of the 20th century, Neville Goddard. A man who claimed that your imagination is God. And what you imagine becomes real. Sounds insane? Then let me tell you a story. A woman once approached Neville after one of his lectures in Los Angeles. She was broke. Living paycheck to paycheck. No real job prospects. She wanted to move to New York, start over, but had no money, no connections, no hope. Neville didn't give her a lecture. He didn't suggest a business plan. Instead, he said something strange. Tonight, when you go to sleep, imagine you are already in New York. Hear the traffic. Feel the cold wind. Smell the bagels. Fall asleep in New York. That's it. No to-do list. No hustle. Just 4 minutes of vivid imagining and sleep. She did it. 2 weeks later, she received an unexpected letter. A distant cousin she hadn't spoken to in years was moving abroad and offered her an apartment in New York. Rent-free. For a year. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe it was the technique. Neville called it the state akin to sleep. A twilight zone between waking and dreaming. Right before you drift off, your mind becomes a projector. A transmitter. And whatever scene you feed it in that moment becomes a seed planted in the deepest soil of your subconscious. Most people use this moment to replay worries, fears, regrets. You relive the argument, the unpaid bills, the rejection. And guess what? You keep recreating them. Over and over. Because your subconscious doesn't care what's real. It only cares what's repeated. But what if you flip the script? Imagine this. It's late. You're lying in bed. The lights are off. Your phone is finally down. And instead of scrolling, you close your eyes and step into a scene. A very specific one. The scene that would exist if your desire was already fulfilled. Not wishing for it. Not hoping. Being there. If you want love, feel their arms around you. Hear them say, "I love you." Don't imagine the date. Imagine the moment after. When it's done. When it's real. If you want money, don't picture stacks of cash. Feel the thrill of checking your account and seeing the number that makes your stomach flip. Neville taught that the subconscious responds not to effort, but to conviction. Not to struggle, but to surrender. He said, feeling is the secret. Not thinking. Not forcing. Feeling. But here's the trick most people miss. You can't do this during the noise of the day. The conscious mind is too strong. Too skeptical. It argues. It doubts. But in that drowsy moment before sleep, the gatekeeper steps aside. And the subconscious listens. 4 minutes. That's all it takes. The average person lies in bed for 20 to 30 minutes scrolling, worrying, planning. You could spend just 4 of those minutes creating your future instead of repeating your past. Still think it's too simple? Let's go deeper. The human mind doesn't distinguish between a memory and a vividly imagined event. Neuroscientists have shown that imagining an experience lights up the same brain regions as actually living it. To your brain, experience is experience. So if you fall asleep every night imagining that you failed, you're living failure over and over. But if you imagine success, consistently, emotionally, the mind begins to adapt. To believe. To create conditions that match your dominant inner state. Neville called this living in the end. He said, do not concern yourself with how the desire will manifest. That's not your job. Your only job is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The how is irrelevant. The when is irrelevant. All that matters is the state. And the state creates the bridge. Still skeptical? Good. That means your conscious mind is active. But that mind, the one that's always doubting, calculating, worrying, isn't the one that changes your life. It's the deeper mind. The one beneath the noise. Neville's own life was a testament to this. He went from a struggling actor with no money, no influence, to a man whose lectures drew hundreds, then thousands. He lived as though his desires were facts before they ever appeared. He didn't chase success. He embodied it. And he wasn't alone. Countless students of his wrote letters, stories, testimonials. A woman who visualized holding her newborn after doctors said she could never have children. A man who pictured owning a business, then was laid off and out of that crisis, built a company. The stories are eerie. Almost too perfect. And yet, they keep happening. Because when the inner world becomes more real than the outer shifts. You might be wondering, what if I imagine something wrong? What if I focus on the negative? Well, look around. That's exactly what most people are doing. Unintentionally manifesting their own fears. Every single day. But what if you became conscious? What if you used that moment before sleep not to worry, but to create? Here's how to do it. Step 1. Pick one desire. Just one. Not 5. Not a vague idea. One specific outcome. Something real. Tangible. Measurable. Step 2. Create a short, vivid scene that implies the desire has already come true. Not the process, the result. Something that would only happen after it's done. Step 3. As you lie in bed, enter the state akin to sleep. That hazy, floaty zone where the mind is soft. Begin replaying the scene. Over and over. Feel it. Hear it. Smell it. Live it. Step 4. Fall asleep inside that feeling. Don't break character. Don't analyze. Just drift off with that final thought burning in your mind. That's it. 4 minutes. Done. And no, it's not magic. It's not law of attraction fluff. It's the mechanics of attention, of belief, of identity. Because your life doesn't change when the world changes. It changes when you do. Neville used to say, you are the operant power. Not your boss. Not your partner. Not luck. You. And that's both terrifying and exhilarating. Because if you created your current life, even unconsciously, you can create a new one. Deliberately. With precision. So the next time you lie in bed, don't ask for something. Don't plead. Don't wonder. Assume. Step into the version of yourself who already has it. And then, sleep. Let your subconscious do the heavy lifting. Let the bridge of incidents unfold. And don't panic when things seem to fall apart first. Sometimes, the old must burn for the new to rise. That's part of the process. It's not failure. It's transition. This isn't positive thinking. It's identity shifting. It's not about motivation. It's about embodiment. And it's not a fantasy. It's a decision. So the question is, who will you fall asleep as tonight? Because that version of you is the architect of your future. And 4 minutes is all it takes. Subscribe for more truths you were never told.